Today we're going to make a foldable for your math journal. It's going to go on page 2 in your math journal, and you're going to need the foldable that looks like this. You're going to need a stick of glue, these 4 cutouts, and of course you're going to need a pair of scissors to cut them out. You'll also need a pencil to write the details inside of your foldable. Feel free to pause this video at any time if you need a moment to write or cut or glue. So first of all, we're going to take this foldable page and fold it in half. Where it says this area is not used, back of notes, that's where you're going to put glue after we get finished with the notes. So you're going to fold on this center line, or hot dog style fold. You're also going to cut on each of these dotted lines so that you end up with 4 doors to fold open. Go ahead and take a minute to cut those 4 lines right now. All right, so we're going to take a look at each of the doors separately and talk about what a rate is, what a rate looks like, what a unit rate is, and what a unit rate looks like. So let's go ahead and open our first door up at the top. A rate is. We're going to open that up. So we're going to just write the definition. A rate is a special ratio that compares quantities in different units. Let's take a minute to write that. All right, so a rate is a special ratio that compares quantities in different units. For example, you might have this. I spent $64.89 for 21 gallons of gas. It's just like the ratios we just got finished studying. Take a second and glue that example on the left side of the door. So again, a rate is just a special ratio. It's comparing, in this case, dollars and gallons, and they have different units. So some examples of what a rate might look like are miles and hours. You might see dollars and gallons like we did in the example. You might see cents and pounds. We see that a lot at the grocery store when we're buying fruits and vegetables. You could also see players and teams. There's lots of other examples that you could see in the real world, but this is just a few. So some of the examples with numbers are on this cutout that you should have already stuck. As you can see, the number in the numerator and the denominator are just various numbers. They're just different units. The miles and the hours are different units. Take a second to go ahead and glue that on. And we're going to close those 2 doors and move on to unit rates. So a unit rate is different than a rate. The way it's different is that there is going to be the number 1. So let's write the long definition and then we'll describe it. It says a unit rate is a ratio that describes how many of one quantity correspond to 1 unit of another quantity. Okay, so I want you to put bubbles around the words 1. So in our situation, one of the quantities can have any number that you want, but the second quantity has to have only one. So for example, right here, we've got gas costs $3.09 per gallon. Let's go ahead and glue that in, and then we're going to do a little writing on it. Okay, so you might be wondering, where is the number 1 in this? And it's not written, but we can see with the word gallon, what they really mean is 1 gallon. So we still have different units. We have dollars and gallons being compared, but the second quantity only has one of that item. So let's take a look at some of the examples you might see in the real world. So again, you might see miles per 1 hour. You see that on the street signs on the highway. You might see in our school zone the speed limit is 20 miles per hour, or on the interstate it's 70 miles per hour. Those are both unit rates. You might also see dollars per gallon. And again, that's 1 gallon. Gas is sold by the gallon, so on the sign at the gas station, it might say $2.59 per gallon. We also see cents per 1 pound. When you buy fruits and vegetables, they're sold this way. And then players on each team. Again, here we're talking about just one team. So you've got this cutout that we're going to glue down, and I want you to notice the second value on each of those examples is 1. 1 hour, 1 gallon, 1 pound, and 1 team. Okay, let's take a minute to go ahead and circle the number 1. So we remember that unit rates always have the number 1 as the denominator. Now, rates and unit rates can still be written in the other 3 forms of ratios that we've talked about. For example, in this one on gas costs $3.09 per gallon, we can write $3.09 per 1 gallon. We can write $3.09 to 1 gallon, or we can write the fraction $3.09 to 1 gallon. Those are still all read the same way, and in our example, we can see the word per is used also. That's another ratio word or a rate word. When you get done with all of your notes, go ahead and close all of the tabs, and on the back, spread your glue out and glue it in on page 2 of your notes.